Welcome back to Gaijin Hideout. I'm Jeff. With me as always is Jesse. And today we are back for more Dragon's Dogma 2 special tier list update, video number 2.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So for quick recap for people, we made a tier list video before the game came out. It was a guess. It was guessing...
a very sloppy guess.
Via tier list. Yeah, via tier list about how fun we thought each vocation was going to play. We then made an update video after I played a few hours as one of the vocations, the Thief. And since then, we've dove into the game a lot more. So as you can see, this is how far I've gotten in terms of playing. I've maxed out the Fighter, the Archer, the Mage, and the Thief. Additionally, my pawn, Jess Revius, I have at least seen him fully max out the Warrior and the Sorcerer and seen how those played. Have not touched the hybrid vocations yet. I'm still missing a couple. I know where they are. Don't worry, I'm going to get there. It's just... I just decided I wanted to spend the first 60 hours of my playthrough maxing out the basics. And I guess I'm going to spend the however many other hours maxing out everything and exploring this game because it's amazing.
Many hours, Jeff.
It's amazing and I love it. So, but I think we have enough. You know, I'm 60 hours in, 60 and change maybe. And I think we have enough to update my tier list that I gave previously. So here's a new tier list. Here's the previous tier list. I had Mystic, Spearhand, Magic, Archer, and Thief in S in that order. I had Archer, Sorcerer, Warfarer in A in that order. I had in B tier, I had Warrior, Fighter, and Trickster in that order. And then in D tier, because I was skeptical about it, I had Mage. Yeah, just out in the cold. So we're gonna
shameful.
We're gonna start with the basic vocations in the order that I've played them. Then we'll do the advanced ones, and then we will, of course, do the hybrid ones next, and then we will end with the warfare vocation.
Okay.
So we're gonna start with the fighter. Fighter for me, I did max it out, so I am making a bolder adjustment here that I normally do. I'm a pretty positive person. I'm putting fighter in C tier. All right, it wasn't bad.
Oh,
yeah. It wasn't
downgraded.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, but I am downgrading it.
I am downgrading it just because. So it packs a lot of punch. It's very satisfying when you finish off enemies in the right way because he will just like use his whole body in this animation to just bash the guy's skull.
He does have a cool like finisher. I agree.
He has a cool finisher. He gets the job done. You can kill bosses with him. You can do stuff, but it's just all so tiresome to some degree. It's like a war. It's almost like you're playing a war of attrition with the game. You're fighting a war of attrition with the game because the fighter is a tank, but he also is built in such a way where it feels like he's kicking ass. It feels like he's kicking ass like you're in Dark Souls or something like that. You know, like he's got a parry or a perfect block. He's got several moves where he's got a move where you can roll away, and if that's done right, then like when he retaliates with the slash back in the direction where he rolled away from, it does more damage. He's got like a move where he spins around and hits people with his sword. But it all for me, like it really felt like I was dishing out a lot of damage and then I was also just taking a lot of damage at the same time. Maybe I'm just not very good as the fighter.
You just can't find that block button. That's all it is.
I guess, but when it's coming from every direction and every time you get hit, you start staggering or falling over and you don't unlock the perk for like increased recovery from being knocked down till rank 9. It's just kind of it was a trudge, you know. I felt like I was in the trenches. It's not that it was bad, which is why it's not in D, but it was, you know, it could have been a lot cooler.
But it is in C.
I just, in comparison to the other ones that I'm going to show you, I just think that's where it belongs. Okay. Archer's going confidently right in A, right where I had it, basically.
Archer's an interesting one. It wasn't quite like I expected it to be.
Yeah, same for sure. So the nimbleness, the Legolas-like effects of the Archer, they were not quite as intuitive and useful as I was hoping they would be. That's probably what precludes this from being in X is, I think, Jesse, you described it as what, being like a turret playing like a turret
Yeah,
sometimes.
at times it kind of felt like a pew pew simulator. You know, I felt like a mobile turret. I liked it. I definitely liked Archer, but if I was doing the nimble stuff, I almost felt like I was playing the game wrong. Like I shouldn't be this close to the enemy to begin with. I should just hang back and shoot them, blast them in the face. And not use all my cool Legolas abilities. Not that you don't have a bunch of like cool abilities,
Yeah.
as is. And I felt like I was doing solid damage. So yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I will say that I did max this one all the way out, and you do get a bit more options for the up close attacks, not a ton. Like when you dodge kick off of an enemy, you unlock a core skill where you can shoot an arrow in the air as you're backing away. And additionally, there's an exploding arrow that you can unlock that when you upgrade that, the initial version, it just uses one of the exploding arrows that you have like in ammo form. But the upgrade when you're on a boss, when you're climbing on a boss, the guy will just stick it in the boss. Like, so you can just climb up on the boss, stick it, and then you can also like, I guess, press the square button, like, and you do like a basic attack and he'll stick his own. And the way that works is like you stick the arrow and then you have to hit it again to explode it. So you're just right there. You stick it, you hit it again by sticking it with another normal arrow or doing whatever he does when he's climbing up, and it just immediately explodes on the boss. That's pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I actually, it gave me incentive to climb up on the boss and shoot. Because sometimes you have to, if the weak point's on the top of the head, like on the golem, sometimes that's the only weak point available. But then it's a pleasant surprise because you can climb up and just boink, boom. That was pretty cool. Yeah. That was Legolas vibes. That was pretty cool. So it definitely has that. You know, I wish the leg kick was a bit easier to deploy. You have to be like running and you have to jump and then you have to press triangle at the right time. So it kind of introduced these like tanky controls into like what was supposed to be a nimble archer build.
I didn't so much have an issue with that as, again, I just felt like I was playing the class wrong if I even had to use that ability, you know?
Yeah. I think having the option to unlocking that augment where you deal more damage to weak points is awesome because you can go into the aim mode as an archer and just aim at the weak points on bosses. That's really cool. Another thing that's really cool is that quick shot is just so good. You can actually there's like a spiral shot and a quick shot where you can shoot a spiral shot that's like, it's kind of like moving the enemy a little bit, which is helpful sometimes. Like it's warping them because it's like looping around and hitting them several times. And then while that's happening, you could fire off this like quick shot, which when fully upgraded is like a machine gun. It hits like 12, 15 times. It's crazy. So, and if you do invest into the weapons and get good weapons, like you're trying to main this vocation, that quick shot on its own will do so much carrying. That and either that spiral shot or I ended up preferring, I think, like the death blow shot, which just like, you know,
is that one like Dark Souls boss move that you get?
Yeah, it might be a little overhyped. Like it might only have its best effect on like small enemies, but it's kind of cool that the upgrade version can pin the small enemies to a wall. It's just a
fun one to use.
Yeah. Definitely has a lot of style points, but it also like lives up to like the majority of that. So that's why I put that in A. So, but yeah, overall it's good. Fair. This is one of the ones I would be coming back to probably to play. It's like, it's in my mind in terms of warfare material, like and stuff like that. I enjoyed this. So, Mage. Sorry, saw a staff. Got excited.
They're all the same. Why not?
Mage. Previously, I had it in D because it did not look fun.
Shameful.
Like the sorcerer looked like it was gonna be fun in spite of being basically a mage. So that's why it's higher. But the mage just looked lame. Mage is in B. Mage is in B for me. I played it, I maxed it out.
Jeff.
I gave it a full shot. I gave it a full shot, okay? I gave it like the God's honest, like best shot. I fought bosses with it.
I gave it a full shot and put it directly in the middle of the pack.
I fought bosses with it. I killed bosses with it. I got, involved with it. The thing about this vocation is that it's not really fun for gameplay mechanic reasons. It's okay, but it's fun for like role-playing reasons. Like it's fun to be like this like weird guy that's like just kind of perpetually aloof in battle and outside of battle, and it's really fun to hover. It's fun to like
The levitation's really fun.
yeah, the levitation's really cool. It's interesting. It works effectively for like evasive maneuvers.
Yeah, there's certain situations where it's like fantastic. Like if you're fighting a boss and there's a little bit of high ground just next to you, you just hover on over, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. The spells were like kind of hit or miss for me. Jesse really liked Levin, like High Levin, the Thunder one.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah.
I could never time that one to hit. I don't know if it's because I was in Batal and like they're just weaving and bobbing, like coming after you. But I ended up preferring the fire one which is like a steady flamethrower, which I know Jesse hates. But I kind of liked it because you can kind of just like get a little up close like an idiot, you know, maybe can't aim his spells right.
I never wanted to use that one because I was like in everyone's face all the time.
But you can then you can like just kind of spread the love a little bit, you know, you can kind of like burn a guy and then like turn and burn another guy. It kind of works.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all the bosses seem to be kind of weak to fire, you know, or flammable.
Seems like everything's weak to fire pretty much.
Yeah. So once again, recurring feature of Dragon's Dogma, it fears fire arisen. Applies to most things. So
shooting out ladders eventually, Jeff, one day.
I guess you need 11 for when you fight drakes. I guess drakes are weak to fire. No, they're weak to ice. So that's when I ended up using ice. Was the ice one, he kind of like does this thing where he like twirls his wand towards the ground and out comes a big like glacier spike shooting up diagonally. And that was useful situationally for hitting weak points in bosses like the Drake with the heart on his chest, or when I got on a little elevation fighting some of the golems, I think in Batal, and I needed to hit a particular weak point. I could, if there was multiple, I could like hit all of them from the side on a little ledge with the mage, just kind of cheesing it with the glacier. So I kind of liked that. It was nice having the healing thing. I could have taken it or left it, to be honest. I actually ended up bringing a second mage into my
so
party.
I don't have to heal.
Yeah, basically. Just so I could focus on figuring out the mage.
When I played as the mage, I did not take another mage. I also did healing duty and had no problem with it. I thought it was easy enough to not really be a nuisance and just keep your party healed up.
Yeah, the only reason it's not higher is because I don't really feel like the mechanics hit like correctly for me. I felt like I was playing like if that was if the game centered around that mage, I would have felt like I was playing like a game that was like, all right, the mechanics are okay, like the gameplay's a 7, but then I'm assuming the overall experience is like in other things, you know? Like if it was like, you know, I don't know what I'm thinking of that would be like that, because it was just a little floaty. The aiming was a little odd for me, and it might be because my character's 7 feet tall, so the reticle might be a little weird for me.
It took me a while to get used to it too. Eventually, I just had to kind of sort of lean into it, you know.
Yeah. So that's the mage. Of course, there is a great ability that you unlock at rank 9 called Exaltation, which increases your stamina recovery speed. That was my main motivation for maxing out the mage initially. But I rather enjoyed it in the process more than I thought I would. I actually didn't think I thought these would be reversed, to be honest with you. So
okay.
Now Thief, okay, guys. All right.
I got stolen here was Jeff's heart.
Last time Thief was in S, and I played it. I was like up to rank 3 or something on Thief, or 4 or 5. This time it's an S, and it's at the top. It's the top thing. I'll spoil it for you right now. It's the best in S for me right now, even including things I haven't played, because I have had so much fun with this vocation, Jesse. I have had so much fun. I maxed it out and I kept playing as it. I kept playing as it to the point where I perpetually now have a surplus of 50,000 discipline at any given moment. At any given moment. And it never goes down no matter how much I spend it, because you necessarily have to like earn that much discipline to rank up everything else afterwards. So I just have 40 to 50,000 discipline surplus because I played that much as the Thief. Jesse, I love the Thief.
I love the Thief.
God, I love it. God, I love the Thief. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. It's so fast. It's fun. It scampers up bosses. like nobody's business. It is a boss murderer. There's a few enemies that counter it pretty hard, but that's what you've got a party for. Like those Rocky guys, like I could not figure out for the life of me.
They just suck. They just suck.
They suck.
Yeah.
I figured out later with the fighter that I think the tail might be their weak point, so I gotta like revisit that.
Yeah.
But like the God, it is so it has it's called Gut and Run initially, and then it upgrades to something else. It has this ability that is like it's super effective. It deals extra damage to weak points, and just that combined with the explosive that you could place potentially, combined with so many other things, like it makes it just a brutal destroyer of bosses. I've seen people use the Thief's concussive step in gameplay clips on Twitter. They will like jump in the air and then use the concussive step, which is supposed to be like it drops a small sonic explosion and you bounce away. They've used it to propel themselves in the direction they want to go, like after they jump in the air and then land on a boss from like a farther distance away. Like they've used the concussive step combined with the skull splitter to get over to stuff. It's like kind of crazy what people are doing with the Thief. Like
Tears
the Thief
of the Kingdom level nonsense.
And skull splitter is an insane move as well. It deals so much damage you almost don't want to use the Gut and Run move sometimes. And then of course, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the Meister skill for the Thief, which drains your stamina bar, but is
just makes you invincible.
Invincible. Like you dodge everything that hits you. It's insane.
It's the win button,
and it looks so cool. Well, you got to like manage your stamina levels a bit and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, whatever. Okay,
you do. I'm sure there's something that counters it. There's some boss move that counters it. But that carried me so much on that first stream that we did, Jesse. Like that was the only way I survived that Drake fight, was just managing my stamina.
Oh yeah,
and hanging in there as the Thief. To be honest, like since I've played these other vocations, some of these I've been able to kill like a Drake, without having to like rely on that thief skill. And the more I've thought about it, the more I would ultimately want to replace the Thief, that Maester skill with just the ultimate combination of things to truly like kill bosses in seconds. And so that's actually what we're going to be doing on our next live stream, which we do a live stream every Saturday, 3:30 p.m. EST. It's just an epic Dragon's Dogma stream, just a new crazy thing each week. Strongly encourage you to come check it out. But that's what we're going to be doing this week, is we're going to be doing the Thief. I'm going to be playing as the Thief. Jesse's going to be timing me. We're going to be seeing how fast I can kill bosses with the Thief. And it's maxed out. I maxed out these other vocations specifically to get their augments to further augment the Thief. So we're talking a Thief that has the Mage's Exaltation. Jeez. We're talking a Thief that has the art, which means like the stamina bar recovers faster. We're talking about a Thief that has the Archer's augments, where he's got more stamina, he climbs the boss faster, and he's got an added bonus on top of the bonus he gets from Gut and Run to a weak point. He gets it as an augment now. We're talking about a Thief that has a defense boost, maybe. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. We may have to like make it no pawns.
A demigod. Yeah.
We may have to make it no pawns or something like that. But it is going to be.
I'm fine with that. That would be so entertaining for me.
I am maxed out in this like insane ninja outfit and everything. I look like I look like the final boss. So I strongly encourage you to come check out this stream. Anyways, I love Thief. Played the hell out of it. It is my. It is gone over here. You see on this side. I gave deference to Magic Archer and Mystic Spearhand for reasons I'll get into. But right now, this is my number one. It is my vocation to beat. I'm not convinced anymore that these are going to be better than the Thief. You have to convince me. Mystic Spearhand has to blow my mind like everyone's saying it will.
And you know what, Jeff? I totally get it. I mean, I have not yet played the Thief, but having seen you play it and all the things you've described, I get it. I can't really argue with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that. I could rant on that forever. Might just make a whole video, like a love letter video to it or something. The Thief is awesome.
I can already see the thumbnail.
Hearts in my eyes. You're going to have fun in Photoshop. All right, moving on. Okay, so now we're getting into ones so these are all the ones I played very much, like a lot.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into stuff. So these next two, I have not played directly, but my pawn Jess Revius has maxed them out both. So I've seen how they aid me, and I've kind of gotten kind of an idea of what they would be like to play as from what I've seen. So Warrior, I'm going to put right back in B. I don't know if he's going to go ahead or behind the Mage. I'm going to put him slightly ahead. I'm optimistic on the Warrior. I'm optimistic.
Okay.
Now,
yeah, I've played a little of the Warrior, enough to know that like I need to get better at managing the wind up time. I've only played a little, so I haven't unlocked some of the abilities you get later. I'm sure Jeff knows what those are. I don't, but it's an interesting class. I'm still unsure. I just need to get. I've gotten into situations with the Warrior where it's like, oh, I'm a big, strong warrior. I can go in and just kill everybody. And nope. I cannot do the wind up in time, and everybody jumps me. So still working on that.
So I'm a little trepidatious about that, little concerned that it's going to be a scenario with the fighter where there's, because fighter was a little clunky, but you weren't punished too bad for it. But the Warrior, the things I like about the Warrior that I've seen from using my pawn and seeing all the skills that get unlocked is there are so many skills. There's so many different moves you can unlock. Like when you get around rank 6, it's like, it's a lot, dude. It's a lot. And it's a lot of different ones. Like you can have one where you just charge in and stab people. Like you're just like, it's like a ramming attack. Usually just a troll ramming attack that you can barely control or something. You've got ones where you can slash in a circle, slash up. And then I think somewhere around halfway you unlock this core skill that is timing based with the button presses that is supposed to allow you a bit more momentum. I think if you nail the timing, and I think if that turns out to be learnable for me and useful and like repeatable, I think that might make the Warrior pretty insane because it does seem like it can deal a lot of damage, and it is not that much of a glass cannon like I thought it would be. So I will keep this in B. But it is not that it could move up to A, could move behind the Mage. Just kind of depends on how this shakes out. That was another concern that I had seen and was addressed was I've been able to kind of get away with not having a fighter and using the Warrior instead because the Warrior has an aggro skill so you put a Warrior pawn on your party and he'll draw attention and then he'll still just like lay into them. It's not. I don't know if it's as effective as the fighter, but like he's not really getting beat up as bad as I had envisioned it in my head. So that's why that's there. But I'm going off of what I've seen from Jess Revius. It was pretty good. It was a pretty good experience. I went from like using him as a sorcerer to using him as a warrior. It was like, this is not that bad. This is not a problem, necessarily at all. So
yeah.
Speaking of sorcerer, I am going to put...
For me, this is just a better mage. I mean, you don't have the ability to heal and stuff as the sorcerer, but it's just so much... It's so entertaining to play as this dude.
I'm going to put in A because he was so useful when Jess Revius was using him as a partner. And to this day, I use sorcerers... especially lately, I happened to try it again, and I was like, you know what, this is staying in the party. So I have Jess Revius, my main pawn, doing other vocations, trying them out. But I always have a pawn that's a sorcerer in my party ever since I've been in ever since I got deep into Batal and further.
That earth, I haven't unlocked any of the Meister skills for this yet, but that earthquake spell. I forget the name of it exactly, but it is so useful at just knocking stuff over. I love it.
Is that Seism? Is that what it is? Or is that
I think it might be Seism, yeah.
Yeah, so that I'm glad you brought that up because that reminded me that was useful multiple times, yeah, for sure. For knocking bosses over.
I spam that spell. It is so cheesy.
Yeah. That and then even early on the blizzard was like freezing drakes and we were like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Like I can't.
Yeah, that's another really good one.
Yeah. So like just the effects that it has on bosses is like just combine that with a thief. It's like brutal. It's brutal, man.
And you know what? I love as a sorcerer, I love setting up that like thunder mine. It's just so much fun. Like setting that up first thing. Watching a bunch of goons try and get through my little force field. They all go flying away in the distance and then just nuking everybody. I love it.
Yeah, so I'm keeping this in A. I haven't played it myself, but it's been useful as a pawn, and it looks like it's going to be good. Archer was just very fun to play as, so like it will be interesting. I am imagining, I'm imagining that it will move ahead of Archer. I just don't know if I have enough data to move it ahead of Archer right now. Just because. So what we'll do is I'll fully max out and get the Maester skills for everything for the next video. By the way, we're gonna do one more of these as like a retrospective when I max everything out. We may have to do two if New Game Plus like shakes the game up enough. But
that's a good point. Yeah, we haven't even touched that.
We haven't even. I'm not even. I
barely touched this.
I haven't even gotten to the
wandering around.
I haven't even gotten to the masquerade yet. That's my next story mission is the masquerade.
Just typical us. Ignore the story for 40 hours.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So, I anticipate this. If assuming the Maester skills are as awesome as they were in the first one, which because we know what they are, we won't spoil them if anyone's looking.
Know.
But if you play the first one, you probably know. It might jump up a lot. It could jump up to S conceivably for me because the mage controls so well. The sorcerer presumably would control so well with so much more shit on it, But again, haven't gotten there yet. So, Magic Archer, I'm still putting this in S. I'm still thinking it's going to be S. It could drop to A. I'm trying not to let my bitterness of how I had to unlock this stupid quest. I'm trying not to let that affect this because I'm just imagining how fun the vocation will be, not how fun the experience of unlocking it was. My quest line for this, without giving spoilers, got bricked, basically. It repeated a previous step. It was locked on a previous step, and then other nonsense happened. Somebody died for no reason. I had to look up the answer online. I don't like spoiling myself online. And that drained the last of my patience for unlocking Maesters. So I'm probably just going to look up the Maester locations. So I'm just letting you know, just a heads up, the Magic Archer one, that's a little buggy. And because there was not that many game-breaking bugs.
You've been warned.
That's the one that kind of pissed me off. So, but... I do think from everything I've seen, it's going to be fun. I think the fact that they put it so far back in the world, like it's a slog to get to that.
You really do, yeah.
And warfare.
It's like end game. It feels like
Mystic Spearhand. I just don't have because I'm in.
Go straight there.
Mystic Spearhand. I just don't have because I'm an idiot. I just haven't found the quest for it yet. I understand now, but I found the place where you're supposed to go, and I did the thing you're supposed to do. I just don't have the quest.
Wandered into it. I have no idea how I found it.
Yeah, Mystic Spearhand. I'm a little salty that they kind of tied it slightly to the events of the story mission, slightly, but. Magic Archer I found naturally through progression, and besides that, it's telling me that it's a big deal. Like, it feels advanced. And also, I played Magic Archer a bunch in Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. It was awesome then, and it didn't have half the buffs it has now, from what I've seen. So I'm going to say confidently that's there. But, again, Thief is more fun until I'm proven otherwise on all these. And proven otherwise means I'm maxing them all out. So, kind of a similar situation with the Mystic Spearhand.
Oh, this is so much fun. This is such a fun vocation. I love this one.
Yeah, so Jesse loves this one. People love this one. I've heard people say they love it. It looks awesome. I just haven't been able to unlock it yet, and I have been maxing out the vocations in order of complexity. So I won't get to it for a little bit, but it still looks awesome. And for all the same reasons as Magic Archer, I haven't played it yet, but I've reacted to all the footage of it before the game came out. It looks like it's going to be amazing.
Fast. You have so many cool abilities. You can the force throw is fun. I don't use it too much just because I like getting in real close.
It just,
but it also has this other ability where you just become invincible briefly.
It just remains to be seen if it's going to be more fun than the Thief, because the Thief is so fast and devastating. And so it's just going to be, does my Grug brain, action brain win out, or does my Jedi LARPing brain win out? Which part of this, does the part of me that loves Devil May Cry and old God of War and all that win out? Or does the part of me that loves Final Fantasy 15 and more eloquent kind of, even I don't know, Elden Ring or something, does that win out a bit more? So I know it's got cool stuff, but the Thief is so good, guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't know if it's more powerful than the Thief because I haven't played to compare, but I just know, and I certainly didn't. I don't think I played Mystic Spearhand optimally or anything, but I just know that I had a blast, even just playing it kind of as a goon.
Yeah, so that one's I'm gonna leave those where they are. Again, the only difference is Thief is the one to beat. Now Trickster. So Jesse hates the Trickster, and
I wanted to kill myself in Minecraft playing this class, vocation, whatever, abomination. It was so miserable and just
Jesse
now,
wanted to throw
fair,
himself into the brine playing this vocation.
Right, and I did, in fact. But to be fair, I have not played this all the way through because I kind of like rage quit probably around rank 4 or 5. I was just having so little fun slowly waiting for my pawns to kill the enemy. I did not enjoy that at all. It was so dull. I haven't unlocked any of the cheese you can do with it yet, and maybe it gets interesting, but I don't know. I mean, just compared to these other classes, it feels like it's just going to be so slow that I don't think I'm going to enjoy it. And it also, I mean, when you're working with your pawns, that feels like a lot of, that's fun. But when you have to like wait for them to do everything and kind of goof around on the way there, ugh.
Yeah. Ugh. So for me, I'm just going to speak on what I've seen from playing the game. And I've played deep into Batal and what comes beyond Batal without getting into that. I will say you have to venture pretty far into the world, unless I've missed something seriously in Vermund. You have to play pretty far into the world to really like unlock anything that like, can give you gear for this, whether you find it in caves or like in treasure chests or like in a store.
Yeah.
It does exist, but it's like late game. And I just don't know if it makes sense for that to be like available. So it's not late game, but like late world, it's in a harder part of the world or more intense part of the world. I just don't know if it makes sense to like have that doesn't seem like a payoff, like Mystic Spear Hand seems like a payoff. Magic Archer seems like a payoff.
Right.
And beyond that, it's still
boredom.
Beyond that, it's still not a lot. Like I haven't seen a lot of sensors. I haven't seen a lot of armor options. I've gotten multiple. I actually might only have one sensor. I'm not sure. No, I think that I've got the option for 2. But so it doesn't seem like it seems like it may be undersupplied in terms of gear, or it might be like overly hidden. And then the other aspect is that, my favorite class or vocation right now is Thief. And it's like the opposite of this. Like it is all like just blood and guts action.
Just don't even play
nasty.
the game. Just turn the game off. If you're gonna play the Trickster, just turn the game off, because that's what it feels like playing this class.
So here's what I'm going to say. I have just a strong suspicion that I'm not going to enjoy it very much, but I'm not going to put it in D tier like I did the Mage dirty. I have to learn from my mistakes. Okay, I have to learn from my mistakes. Because what I suspect is that we're all kind of high. We have a certain kind of high. We're high on action, okay? If you don't love the Thief the most, you love the Mystic Spear Hand the most. If you don't love him the most, you love like Sorcerer, Magic Archer. It's like, it's all action. It's all like a genre within the genre of the game that you're playing. Like we're all high on the action part. And this is much more, tactical strategy, role playing.
The genre of boring.
Okay, the genre of boring, but if the whole game was turn-based and then you went to Trickster, you'd be like, oh, wow, it's real time all of a sudden. That's probably not a good comparison, but like, so I'm going to put it in C behind the Fighter, but I might, I do think it could go up from here. I am going to max this out. I have found that if you play a vocation and then you stop partway through,
it might be fun. Yeah, if you
play a vocation and you stop partway through, like it is not really a good assessment of it, because like Archer feels a lot stiffer in the first half than it does even like a few ranks past that. Like it picks up pretty fast, and it could be the case.
I had such a violently unwell reaction to like the first hour I played of this class.
So I'm gonna
but anyway,
I'm gonna keep it down here because I think it's just way out of line compared to the other vocations. I think everyone's in agreement on that. But I think I'm gonna the way I'm going through this, the order in which I'm maxing everything out this will be the last one that I max out before I do the warfare, play with the warfare, because I want the knowledge. I don't just want to max everything out. I want the gameplay knowledge for when I do the warfare stuff. But I think I'm going to, I'm hoping that by the time I get to this, I'm like running out of stuff to do besides complete the game. And so I just go back and I just redo stuff I've done before, and I'm like bored. I'm wondering if I'm going to get bored of the game before I beat it. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to max everything out before I beat the game and see if I get bored of the game, bored of wandering basically, and then play the main quest and beat it. And I'm assuming maybe there's, however it ends, and then there's a new game plus and stuff like that. But I want like all this under my belt. So I'm hoping by the time I get to the Trickster, I am bored of this. I'm sick of these like action things up here. That could not be the case potentially. So like I'm gonna put it down here.
That's an interesting point. Yeah.
Because as it stands, I'm like, but I'm not putting it as D because I acknowledge that I'm really addicted to the action of this game. I'm like, I play, dude. It's not good.
Yeah, it's so good that when you have to step away as the trickster and make people do goofy stuff, or not do anything at all. I'm not even sure at this point.
Yeah,
it just feels like such a. But we'll see. Again, to be fair, I have not played this that much, just enough to like feel violently unwell.
So the warfare one, again, I haven't unlocked this. I know where it is. I know what I need to do. I realized it later after I quit the game. And also I got spoiled for me because I'm sick of looking for maesters after this Magic Archer one. But so I haven't played this yet, but I've maxed out 4 different vocations now. So the way how do I say this? The significance of each individual set of even basic weapon skills in each vocation is really hitting me. Is really, really hitting me. So that on its own, without even getting into, I could combine this skill with this skill, and I combine this skill with this skill. Just even thinking about like the ability, because the warfare has the ability to switch between weapons, even if you just do 2. That puts warfare in S tier for me. Probably, I'm going to say ahead of Magic Archer. I think potentially it could be the top one, but it is possible that whatever I come up with as a warfare is not going to be better than what the developers thought of for Mystic Spearhand and for Thief. That's why I'm putting it there. But my overall reasoning is that I started envisioning like recreating the Strider vocation from Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen.
Oh yeah, that's
with the daggers from Thief and the bow from Archer using Warfare. And I know it toggles sequentially, but just imagining toggling 2 sequentially, that's no problem, and that would be iconic. And just that combination alone makes so much sense to be able to do. And with like a couple choice skills from each one, I would just take the multi-shot from the Archer and then like the gut and run and the explosion one maybe from the Thief. And then that's just a boss slayer right there. And then you get augments from both, from wherever. I don't know if that's exactly how it works, but all the vibes I'm getting from the warfare is that like the mechanics of it are solid and not clunky. Besides maybe having to swap sequentially between weapons, but just playing the headline here is just me playing the game and maxing out 4 different vocations. The weight of the uniqueness of each of those gameplay styles, not just the skills, not just the augments, but all the way down to the individual play styles is it's significant. And so combining them is a big deal. In the warrior at all levels, not just in like some gimmicky way or something. So for me, that puts it in A tier, with the caveat that I just have a suspicion about this Mystic Spearhand and this Thief that like these might just be designed as like the best you can make out of anything, any kind of combination of stuff, by the developers obviously, but we'll see. It could go to S. So did you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I really like just the idea of this. I don't know if I'm going to use it to set up any kind of synergies, because I don't know if I need to yet at this point in the game. I haven't struggled that much. It seems like you can just destroy, if you have a nice skill set up and you're decent with a vocation, it seems like you can just kind of destroy everything you want, really. So what I'm probably just going to use this for instead of synergies is to just switch between the classes I like the most at this point, which would probably be the sorcerer and the mystic spear hand. I can just see myself like having a lot of fun just dipping in and out of these two. Like, oh, I feel like getting in close for a little bit, so I'm gonna switch to this one, and oh, I feel like throwing this awesome spell down, and blah blah blah. The only thing that saddens me a bit is it seems like, I don't know this for certain, but it seems like you lose access to the Meister abilities when you play as the Warfare, but that's fair. So
yeah. So yeah, that's about it. This is my updated tier list. This was the previous one. We had an obvious opinion get corrected here. I think I had a bad opinion here. Obviously, I think everyone knew that. I think I said it at the time, but
it was purposely bad, Jeff. You were just trolling.
I just kind of of all the things to put in D tier, it was going to be the Mage. It seemed like just like how many games get it right, but this game got it right. Like it got like a Mage.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I've never wanted to play as a Mage, but like for this one, it's like I could try it again, maybe. Like and not like no, never again. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, Trickster and Fighter moved down for sure. Warrior, I have a little bit more information, but it's kept the same. Same with Sorcerer. Archer's about where it was. And then, the new addition is Thief is like the one to beat, and then Warfare, I think.
Who would have thought that Thief would just climb all the way to the top?
Thief is like insanely good, dude. Like for me, like it's insanely fun. It's just satisfying. Yeah. Like I just get
that's the nice thing about this game is it just feels like whatever class resonates with you, because every class can just totally destroy. I'm playing
decently. I'm playing like a very, very involved personality test with this game, and then doing these tier lists and updating it. Like we're just getting a look at my psyche somehow, It's like we're getting a look at how poorly I like predict things, and also we're getting a look at like what I'm into, and I'm into.
He's a criminal. He's a criminal.
I'm into rapid violence. Apparently, I'm into speedy violence. So, but yeah, that's our tier list. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new here, we'd appreciate it if you liked and subscribed to the channel. We're streamers. That's our main thing. Right now, we upload a weekly reaction video to Dragon's Dogma, but it can also, it could be for other things as well. We're doing tier lists sporadically as well, but we are taking suggestions for if you've got another game you want us to react to, maybe Stellar Blade, maybe another action RPG, maybe something, some trailer, something that came out. Let us know in the comments below, and we can react to that as well. And then our main thing that we'd love for you to show up for is every Saturday at 3:30 p.m. EST. We do a awesome live stream. Right now we're doing Dragon's Dogma 2, and because the game is open world and you can do whatever, we're just coming up with whatever crazy topics we want to come up with. So like this next stream is going to be a assassination. It's going to be Dragon's Dogma, Dogma's Creed, Assassin's Creed with Dragon's Dogma. I'm going to be the thief. I'm going to be tricked out with augments from the archer, the mage, and the fighter to enhance, its abilities, like I said. And I'm going to be destroying like bosses as fast as possible. Yeah. Jesse's going to time me. We're going to see what the high score is going to be. It's going to be a blast. Definitely would love to see you in chat. But yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out.
See ya.